Hello again, it's Kate Sylvia, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how to create a Photoshop action. Now, why would you want to do that? Photoshop actions are used for things that you do repetitively. Say you want to do some sort of slideshow and you've got 150 images that you have to go through and you have to size every single one of them to the same size. So instead of having to go through every single image and change the size and convert the profile and do all of these things, you can create an action and it'll be a real time saver for you. Actions themselves, they tend to elude a lot of photographers. People don't necessarily understand how to use them, but I look at it this way. It's pretty easy when you think of it like this. It's like recording a video on your camera or your phone, or just recording a movie on TV. At the very beginning of it, you press record. Whatever the movie is, however long it is, whatever channel it's on, whatever, it doesn't, that's not what matters. But you hit record at the beginning, you hit stop when you're done, and when you want to use it again, you press play. And it's really as simple as that. It's just that people get kind of caught up with all of the details of what you're doing in between. But those are personal things. Those are things that you will be doing repetitively and creating your own actions. You can see over here in my palette I have lots of actions that I've created for myself. I've got different types of copyright notices. I have different sizes that I typically will use. The 700 I'll put on Facebook or Google or something like that, and then I've got a couple that are for projection. So let's try one of those, because a lot of us submit our images for the CNPA meetings, and they need to be sized for projection. So here's a good one to do. Let's start with, over here in the Actions palette, that's the play button, record, stop. This button right here is for creating a new set, and a set is basically just this right here. So I've got a set for sizing, and I've got a set for copyright and watermarks. And there's a set that comes with Photoshop, all these default actions. And you can create whatever type of set that you would like to do depending on your workflow, depending on the things that you do repetitively. So in this set, I'm going to create a new action. If you hover over it, the menu pops right up, says create a new action, and I'm going to name it. We'll just put it Demo 1, and I'm going to put it under sizing. I'm not going to assign a function key right now, but I will talk about that in just a minute. The minute I hit record, every keystroke that I do, everything that I do on the computer within Photoshop is going to be recorded. So just be careful not to do things that you don't want to have done on every image. So if I'm going to be sizing for projection, this is a vertical image, so I'm going to do a vertical sizing. So this is what we'll do. We'll hit record, and then I'll come up here and go image, 8 bits, and I'm going to convert it to profile sRGB, because my current profile is Adobe 98. sRGB is just more of a projector and web-friendly color space. Click OK. And then I'm going to go image, image size, and I'm going to bring it down to anywhere from 72 to 96 pixels per inch. And I'm going to say for vertical 1024 on the long side. And I'm going to click OK. Now it's still in record mode. You can see that this is highlighted right here. If I just press stop, boom, I'm done. So now let's go back to the beginning of this image, and if I click on actual pixels, that's 100%. So if I click on this action, Demo 1, and I hit play, there it is. I've got it sized to 1024. It is now an 8-bit file. It has been converted to sRGB, and it took me a half a second to just click play, and then I'm done. And then I can move on. If I want to sharpen it, if I want to do other things, I can do that as well. If you want to resize it and sharpen it, you can do both things, but just remember that you'll size it and it will sharpen it, and not every image necessarily needs to have the exact type of the exact same sharpening. So just remember that when you're going through this, that it will, if you set it up to do both, and you keep recording as you're sharpening to create a longer action, that it will apply that to equally to every single image that you click play on. Say for instance, we have this other image. I've got this little girl, and I was out photographing on the beach, and she's got a blue color cast in here, and I had 500 images that I shot of this family out here. Now, of course, I'm not going to work on all those, but I probably worked on between 60 and 70 for this family because the kids were having so much fun in the surf. Now, I want to remove that blue, and that's just a personal preference of mine. Not everybody likes to get rid of it. Some people like the blue. But I don't want to remove it from here, and you can do that. I can set up an action in order to do that. Just click on my hue saturate. Oops, might help if I started the action. Okay, here we go. I'm going to record a new action. I'm not going to put it in sizing. I'm going to put it in my color correction file, and I'll just put blue sky. And I'll hit record. And so go to hue saturation, come over here to my blues, and I'm going to desaturate blue, edit, fill with black, and I'm going to bring up my brush, and then I'm going to click stop. So basically what I did there is I created a mask. Now the action has stopped, so now I can just paint on here. And so because every image when you do this is going to be different. This little girl is not going to be in this position every single time, so I don't want the brush itself to be recorded. I just wanted to bring up hue saturation, I want to desaturate blue, and I want to create a layer mask and have that all done in one step. So if I go back and start over here again, and I come back to actions and I hit blue sky removal and I hit play, boom, there it is, hue saturation, I have a layer mask, all I have to do is brush, and then I'm done. It takes a lot of time away from your work. So, and just to go over real quickly, I forgot to mention the assigning of a function key. You can do that really easily if you come up here to this drop-down menu. I mean, you can do it while you're creating a new action, but if you forget and you want to go back and say, hey, I want to assign a function key to that, you can bring up this menu, and you can click on Action Options, and then, well, of course, you'll be highlighting the one that you wanted to change. And if I wanted to assign a function key to my projection prep vertical, I could say, you know what, I want F8, and I want it to be Shift F8 because maybe F8 is being occupied by something else. So Shift F8 will now play that action without my having to use my mouse to come over here and highlight it and click play. So if I'm just in the midst of typing and I want to run that action, I can just say Shift function F8 and it'll take care of it for me without having to come over here and press play. If you have any questions, I know that sometimes this seems really confusing, but again, it is as simple as hitting record, doing what it is that you would normally do, then hitting stop, and then the next time you want to use it, you just hit play. But if you do have any questions, you're welcome to email me or contact me on Facebook or via the CNPA website anytime. And I hope you enjoy your new actions. Have a good day.